Welcome to Life Ascended, where you can discover your divine potential every day. Sponsored by Ascension17.com, the place to go to manifest a higher version of yourself using the 7 aspects of Ascension. Now, here's your host, Cynthia Clark, spiritual mentor, hand analyst expert, healer, author, and speaker. Hello, spiritual friends, and I am excited to share what I know about clearing karma. This is something I've been working on for a really long time, and I have certainly developed some insights through the hands, and we're going to be looking at your very own hands to discover what it is that you might need to be clearing yourself. And I am going to be following this with a full 8-hour sleep meditation for you. And by the way, this is previously something that I only offered inside of my Diamond Path training. So I am opening some of this up for everyone because this is just too important for you to miss. And so I want to just start out by talking about karma in general. What is karma? Why do we have karma? So you can imagine that as a person coming into a third density experience. So you're born, and I used to think, oh, we come in as a blank slate. We don't have challenges. This is simply not really realistic. We've had many lifetimes and we've been on this earth pathway for a really long time. So a full cycle, by the way, runs in what the Mayans call a great year, which is 25,920 years. So just imagine coming into this cycle and having your third density experience. You're going to be creating karma throughout each lifetime. That's just how it works when we go into a body. So as we do positive acts, we come back to love, we express ourselves positively. That is going to create good karma, meaning that what will return back to us is positive, good people, happy experiences, things like that. And then as we have negative experiences or we do negative things in our lives, that is going to create negative karma that will need to be cleared at some point. And this could be from different lifetimes. By the way, you can tell how many lifetimes are you working on in this life by looking at the lines that encircle your wrist. These are called the rascette lines. And the number of lines that you have here will show you how many lifetimes of karma are you clearing in this lifetime. Okay, so that's the first hand analysis portion that I would like for you to check. Okay, I also want to read to you a little message from the Pleidian Council of Light. This is from my book, The Mojo of Multidimensional Manifesting, and this is what they had to say about karma. Okay, so they said, yes, this is an important truth to recognize. The more love that is held and practiced, the less severe are the not love acts that will occur. This is why it is so important to focus on love, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, and service. For these emotions tip the scales back to balance. The laws of karma that exist are continuously seeking balance. Your efforts do matter and do change the timelines. This is also why timelines are fluid. There are probabilities recalculating every moment, and these can be altered with your own consciousness. For you are all divine beings of light, even those who may seem otherwise. Simply recognize these distortions and know that karma is operating at all times. Know that everyone eventually finds their way back to the cosmic heart, but all timelines and pathways are unique to each person. We invite you to hold more love and more compassion as others choose to remain in the veil of amnesia. Those like you who are awake are invited to participate in assisting with the ascension process. Little by little in each moment, it does matter and does make a difference. Know that you are always infinitely loved and cherished by the One. And no matter what you do, this is permanent. Okay, so this transmission really confirms that we are all part of that divine oneness. We all have choices that we can make in each moment. So you may feel like you might be stuck in a karmic cycle, a negative karmic cycle, but know that you can't, how it manifests in your life is very fluid. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about what you might be holding on to based upon your own hands, because your hands are the roadmap to your soul, your personality, your free will. And we want to work with those in a positive way. So no matter what is in your hands, we want to work with it to clear your blocks. And like I said, we're going to be doing a full 8-hour sleep meditation. So we have portals that are located in our hands. You can also think of these as hand chakras, and they're located in the fingerprints. Okay, so we have one called the portal of karmic neutralization. It's located on your left middle finger. We call this left Saturn. And this finger is all about how can we tap into our infinite selves and move into a positive timeline in this life. So there is a special type of fingerprint that I'm going to address right now, and this is called the composite type fingerprint. And it looks like a yin yang symbol. This in the picture, two loops going around each other. This is a fingerprint type that shows that you are balancing karma depending on what finger it shows up on. So left Saturn is also your finger of personal integrity. So this is what the guides told me. They said the path of worth, left Saturn, when one has forgotten what it means to be in harmony and integrity of the self. This comes from losing oneself to outside influences. Okay, so if we are in a negative aspect of left Saturn, we will forget that we have the power to love ourselves and be in personal integrity with ourselves. Okay, so this, by the way, this is a very common life lesson. It shows up as a lack of self-worth life lesson. I would say it's the second most common life lesson out there. Okay, so this composite type fingerprint is a subtype fingerprint of another one that we call a whorl, and it does show where the karma wants to harmonize and neutralize on a soul level, right? Because fingerprints form 5 months before birth and they never change. So this pattern can also show up in the palm, although it is much more rare to show up in the palm. However, I have seen it in the Luna mount, which is located down here at the bottom of the hand, or in the Venus mount, which is the big mount next to the thumb. So let's go through what you may be choosing to balance on each particular finger, and we will work through this together. So if you have a composite type fingerprint on your right thumb, this is an indication that your karma is balancing relating to your success or failures. So being your portal of willpower, this could also relate to how you direct your will in positive or negative ways. If it shows up on right Jupiter, that is your right index finger. That means your karma is going to be related to your outward power and leadership and how you exert yourself in those ways. And it could also indicate that you don't have solid boundaries for yourself. If it's located on right Saturn, this could be balancing karma relating to your work for yourself and or your relationship with money. This is your finger of chosen work and duties. If it shows up on right Apollo, this means that you are balancing karma relating to how you show yourself to the world. So this includes appropriate creative expression and not keeping your masterpieces in your head or your closet. All right, so right Apollo has to do with your outward expression and how you show up and be seen in the world. Okay, if you have a composite on right Mercury, this is going to be balancing karma relating to how you communicate with others, learning how to speak kindly while eliminating gossip and judgments. Okay, because our Mercury finger, our little finger, relates to our communication. Okay, so moving on to our left hand, balancing karma here on the left thumb relates to the collective consciousness or another family member or a soul family member. So you might be balancing something for the collective if you have something here that wants to clear. Left Jupiter is balancing karma relating to self-image and personal power, finding what is authentic for yourself in this lifetime. Having good boundaries is important with this configuration as well. So just like on right Jupiter, this is a power finger. Left Jupiter has more to do with your personal power and more of your inner power. So left Saturn, this is the finger of karma that we're going to be working with tonight. This relates to the self-worth, like I was saying earlier. And oftentimes it will show up as guilt or shame issues. And we need to start practicing more self-nurturing. If it shows up on left Apollo, this is your finger of potential co-creation. So balancing karma here relates to past life talents that were incomplete, unfinished, or not developed. This is an opportunity for you to bring forward and carry on one or more of these talents. And if it shows up on left Mercury, this is going to be balancing karma relating to a soulmate partner or a health-related issue, because your left little finger relates to your soulmate love and healing. Okay, so by the way, if you don't have a composite fingerprint, then again, go back to the wrist lines, look at the number of lifetimes that you're working on, and you would want to look at other things that are showing up in your life to determine what are you clearing. But it's not coming from a soul level is what I'm saying. So if any of these show up in your hands, that is showing the soul level of clearing. All right, we are going to be showing this symbol throughout the night, which is the symbol for left Saturn and karmic neutralization. And so this is, by the way, symbols hold a lot of power, and we're going to be combining it with the solfeggio tone 396 Hertz, which is known for its power to clear feelings of guilt and fear. This frequency helps you in liberating you from stress and tension. So we will often use this tone for left Saturn. And when we connect with a fractal, what that does is it helps us to connect to our multidimensional selves and helps us connect to that infinite part of ourselves. All right, so I definitely wanted you to have the opportunity to do that. And of course, you'll be sleeping and you'll just be listening, which is fine. But I wanted you just to have the energy of that, because this process is moving you into a vibration and a resonance with the clearing. So the music and the meditations that you're going to be listening to tonight include very special invocations that I have channeled over the years, as well as some positive clearing intentions that are going to help you move past your karma. So I really hope that you enjoy this. By the way, if you want to do more work with understanding your own personal karma and what it is that you need to specifically work on, that would be located in your hands. So you could either sign up to do a hand analysis session with me, just go to ascension17.com, or if you want to check out my membership, I've got a free entry called Soul Compass Discovery, and we work on different portals every single month. So you can have some rotating material and start to get familiar with all of these hand chakras and the activations that go with each fingerprint. I invite you to do that again, just over at ascension17.com/free. And I also just want to point out to you that there are clearing karma. If we don't learn our lessons, then we are bound to just keep repeating them. And so there are really 4 components to clearing karma. Number 1 is this understanding, right? We need to know what it is that we are seeing in our lives, right? So the inner world is going to reflect our outer world and vice versa. So we need to recognize our patterns. Number 2, we need to be sorry about creating negative karma, and we need to come back to compassion for ourselves and come back to our divine nature around it. And we also need to forgive, right? We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive anyone that we have harmed through creating negative karma. This process really helps us to come back to neutrality, come back to the cosmic heart, come back to love. That's what this is all about. And we also need to accept, right? We need to accept that we have created this in our lives. So everything in your life is a reflection of what you have already created. So there are no victims, there are no accidents, everything is divinely orchestrated. And so we need to learn that we are doing this in every moment of every day. And so by listening to this meditation, you are consciously choosing to clear that which is stuck in your system. And so I invite you to do that. And you can just get ready to go to sleep. You can get ready to just receive. And you can just say, let's do a quick little activation before you go off to sleep. Take that left middle finger and just put it right on your heart. And just close your eyes and say, left Saturn, portal open, so that I may access my divine birthright of karmic neutralization. And I now choose to clear my karmic blocks and receive all the intentions that I will be programming throughout the night. Thank you. And so it is. All right. And that's going to set you up for success for this meditation. And please let me know in the comments how this works for you and how you enjoy it. So until next time, I wish you infinite abundance, and let's ascend together. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on Life Ascended, where you can discover your divine potential every day. Please show your support by tuning in, following, sharing your comments, and inviting others to listen. Take it further by visiting Ascension17.com for deeper spiritual growth, guidance, programs, and products.